You have fire in your gut? Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast.
And welcome back, latest and greatest episode of the 7 Points Podcast. My name is Jayden May, joined as always by my co-host Quentin Crisco, doing the short form where we give you all the games, all the picks in a short, quick 15 to 20 minute episode. So starting this week off, we have the Dallas Cowboys going to the New York Giants. We have a 4.5 point spread here. Giants are dogs. The 43.5 point total. I'm not touching this game. What do you like about this one, Q?
I like Cowboys minus 4.5. The Cowboys are they haven't lost a game to the Giants since like 2016 or something. They have just owned this team. They beat them 40-0 in week 1 last year when there was still health. Like, I know both teams have changed since then, but I have a hard time believing they've changed that much. So give me Cowboys minus 4.5. They need a win. The Giants are coming off a nice victory. I think there's a little bit of a letdown there.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. Next up, we have Saints at Falcons. Falcons, 1.5 point favorites, 42.5 point total. This is another game I'm staying away from. If I lean anywhere, I might like the over here. I think both offenses can score. I know Q may feel differently, though.
Yeah, I mean, both these O-lines took some hits last week. I think this is a division game. Division games tend to be lower scoring. These opponents know each other well. And believe me when I say these teams do not like each other. I expect pain. That's the forecast for this game. Pain. And pain does not usually equal points. So give me the under 42.5.
All right, next up we have Bengals at Panthers. Panthers 4.5 point dogs. Total of 47.5. Weird game. Andy Dalton revenge game. What are we thinking here?
Andy Dalton revenge game, man. We're all about the revenge games this week. And you know what? I don't want it. I don't want to take this game. A part of me likes the over 47.5. I think both these defenses have issues. I think the Bengals should crush the Panthers, but Andy Dalton, there's this resurgence of old quarterbacks just being really good against defenses right now. Or not old, but experienced quarterbacks. So I don't know what to do here. I'm staying away.
All right, now we have Rams going to Chicago, take on the Bears. Bears 2.5 point favorites at Soldier Field with a total of 40.5. And you were saying it's supposed to be wet, it's supposed to be nasty. Bears need this win big time. Rams coming off a big win where they threw everything they had at the 49ers, now having to fly across the country and play in a wet and gross game. I like the Bears here, but I'm not betting it.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Bears. I think they're a little desperate here. I think the Rams may have just pulled out all the stops to be a division rival and a coaching rival in the McVay-Shanahan aspect. But flying halfway across the country here, I don't think it's going to be great for the Rams. I'm not betting either on this. I really like the over if the weather was nice. I really think stuff is about to start clicking for the Bears offense. I think they figured some stuff out in the second half against Indy last week. And I think Matt Stafford is just a bad man who's going to keep scoring as long as he's alive.
Yep. All right, next up we have Steelers at Colts. Colts 1.5 point underdogs at home versus the Steelers. 39.5 point total. Weird things happen in Lucas Oil. I don't know what to think about this Steelers team yet. They're 3-0. Colts really haven't shown me a whole lot either. It's another game I can't pull the trigger one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this Steelers offense. They've scored 20 points once. They haven't scored over 20 though. And I mean, I think Justin Fields is operating offense well there. I think it's a fairly limited offense. I'm not sure if the Colts defense or Gus Bradley are the people to start taking away from that, taking things away from their offense to force them into things that they might not want to do. I think someone will eventually. And the Colts, they expected to win some this year. They're sitting at 1-2 now, not 0-3. But I do think weird things happen at Lucas Oil, and who knows? Maybe they start pulling out some run package stuff with Anthony Richardson, and then it opens a whole new ball game for them. So I'm staying away.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Vikings at Packers. Packers 2.5 point favorites at home at Lambeau, 43.5-point total. We have red-hot Vikings team looking to go 4-0 with Sam Darnold at the helm. Playing good ball. I want to take the Vikings so bad right here. I just can't make myself do it. What are you thinking?
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I want to take the Packers here so bad, and I can't do it because I've been burned 2 weeks in a row by the Vikings, and I can't bring myself to be burned a third time in a row. But with Jordan Love, assuming Jordan Love is back, it's not official yet, but it seems like it's going to happen. I mean, if he's at all limited, then he's a sitting duck for Brian Flores. Like, I think he'd have some mobility against Brian Flores, but I do think that Vikings defense lacks in talent, and it's gonna show up eventually here because I think you can only scheme so much around a lack of talent. I just ultimately I'm sitting here thinking I think the Packers have the talent advantage with Jordan Love in there. I think they have the coaching advantage, but you know what? Brian Flores makes all that math weird, so I'm staying away.
Yep. Next up, we have Jaguars at Texans. Texans 6.5-point favorites at home, 45.5-point total. And I'm taking the Jaguars here. I mean, they need a win more than probably anybody in the league. It's division rival. If you can't keep it within 6.5, I mean, just call it quits for the season. I mean, because if not, well, this team has no life, no future, no nothing.
No, nothing. I mean, we might be watching Doug Peterson give the Carson Wentz treatment to Trevor Lawrence before our eyes. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't trust this Jaguars team. And I look at the Texans, I look at all their weapons, and I say, I don't know how the Jaguars stop that. So I have a lean towards the Texans, but I don't want to bet anything on this game.
Yep. All right, next up, we have Broncos going to the Jets. Jets are 7-point favorites, total of 38.5 points. Nathaniel Hackett revenge game. The first true revenge game that he's had. He's got Aaron Rodgers at the helm. I'm taking the Jets here. I think the Jets have looked fantastic last couple of weeks. Aaron Rodgers really slinging that rock. I mean, that offensive line looking good, all the weapons they have. Braylon Allen is looking incredible for them, the rookie out of Wisconsin, on top of already having Breece Hall. They got 4 or 5 deep at the wide receiver position. Good D-line, good defense. I think they're going to be able to absolutely roll this Broncos team. I love this Jets line at -7.
Broncos flying high off kicking the Buccaneers' butts in Tampa. So they flew from Denver to Tampa, back to Denver, now to New Jersey. I don't like that math when Bo Nix is your quarterback. Give me Jets -7.
Hell yeah. Our next up, we have Eagles at Buccaneers. Buccaneers home dogs of 2.5 points, 45.5-point total here. I like the Buccaneers here in a bounce-back game. Eagles went to New Orleans last week, kind of dominated them. Close game, though, on the scoreboard. I think the Buccaneers can do enough to get this game. And with the wide receivers they have and the lack of depth that the Eagles have in that secondary room, or maybe not lack of depth, but lack of experience going against a Mike Evans, a Chris Godwin-led receiver group. So I like the Buccaneers here. I like Baker Mayfield to get it done. Give me the Bucs. Home dogs +2.5.
Yeah, I just don't think the Bucs deserve to be home dogs here. We're looking at an Eagles team that, was really fighting tooth and nail against the Saints last week. I don't think that highly of the Saints, even though they came out red hot. So ultimately here, I look at this Eagles team. I see no A.J. Brown, I don't think, for this game. Maybe double check that before you bet it if you're waiting until kickoff. I see no Devonta Smith for this game, and I see a lot on Jalen Hurts' shoulders for this offense to work. And I mean, I'm not sure Nick Sirianni's doing any favors out there either. So give me Bucs money line. I mean, I
Not
just
sure
think,
Nick Sirianni's doing anything.
yeah, exactly. So Bucs home dog here against a team who I think is hurting. Bucs money line seems like a good bet to me.
Our next up, we have the Commanders at the Cardinals. Cardinals 3.5-point favorites at home with a 50.5-point total here. I think the Commanders are getting a little bit over-respected here after their performance on Monday Night Football against the Bengals. They still do have a rookie quarterback and rookie quarterbacks make mistakes. I think he was schemed up very, very well for that Cincinnati game. So we will see if that can continue. But I'm taking the Cardinals here, -3.5. We're not sleeping on the Cardinals. That means we're not sleeping on them as favorites either. So I'm taking the Cardinals -3.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's another revenge game, revenge of the cliff, right? And so I think the Cardinals are going to come in and really win this game pretty handedly. I think I would take this spread up to around like 6.5. If I'm being honest, I think that this Cardinals defense thrives on chaos, and Jaden Daniels just really beat a defense well who does the opposite of chaos. They're a very controlled environment. The Cardinals defense is like a constant experiment of what can we get away with, what can we do that's insane. And I don't think Jaden Daniels thrives against that. So give me Cardinals -3.5.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Patriots at 49ers. 49ers at home as 10-point favorites with a 39.5-point total. Weird game, weird spread. Not touching it. What do you think about this double-digit spread?
I'm staying far away. Patriots coming off a mini bye here. They're flying across the country, though, crossing over 10 different time zones. And, I don't know. I want nothing to do with it.
All right, and then we have Browns at Raiders. Raiders 1.5-point underdogs at home in Las Vegas. 37.5-point total here. Another game that's weird line. Deshaun Watson's so bad, but the Browns have talent everywhere else. So do they get something rolling? I don't know. But I can't touch either one of these teams right now.
No, when I first saw this, I really liked Browns -1.5. And then I saw some of their O-line injuries that hit last week, and it's like, okay, now I'm not sure I like it that much because that gives Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins a lot of opportunity in this game. So that scares me a little bit. So I ended up staying away, lean towards the Browns here, but it just a light lean.
Yeah. All right, and then we have Chiefs going to LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers home dogs +8.5. Total of 39.5. Another weird line here. I just don't know if the Chiefs. I kind of said it in the long form. I mean, I just don't know if they care enough to win by more than 8.5. I think they could, but with how decimated this Chargers team is right now, I can't in good faith even attempt to take them. So this is another one I'm just going to have to punt on.
Yeah, lean towards the Chiefs here, but ultimately, I don't like betting against a Jim Harbaugh team on a number like this, so I'm just staying away.
All right, then we got Bills at Ravens, probably the game of the week. Ravens 1.5-point favorites at home, 46.5-point total. Both of these offenses have been able to score so far in this season. I think both defenses are vulnerable as well. This is one of my favorite bets of the week. I'm taking over 46.5 in this game.
I'm with you on that. Over 46.5. The Ravens have allowed 27, 26, and 25 points. Totals in those games have been 47, 49, and 53, while the Bills allowed 28 points to the Cardinals. The total in that game was 62. Then the next week, the total was 41. The next week, the total was 57. Next 2 weeks, they only allowed 10 points in each game, but it was against Miami after Tua got injured mid-game and against a hapless right now Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think either of these defenses are that hot. I think they're both can score points, so over 46.5 makes all the sense in the world.
Yep. All right, and then we have Titans at Dolphins. Dolphins 1.5-point dogs down in Miami, 36.5-point total. Gross. We don't know who's playing quarterback for the Dolphins. We know Will Levis is playing quarterback for the Titans, and I can't touch it. I mean, this could be a 60-point total. This could be a 15-point total. Titans could win this game by 30. Titans could lose this game by 30. I'm not touching this game.
You know what the number one rule of sports gambling is?
Don't bet on Will Levis.
Don't bet on Will Levis, or just don't bet a game with the 2024 Titans in it because you just don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, very true. All right, then we have Seahawks at Lions to wrap up the week. We have Lions 3.5-point favorites at home with 46.5-point total. I'm taking the Seahawks here. I think the Seahawks are dogs. Geno's playing well. They got guys all over that wide receiver room. I think they can. I think both these defenses are playing well as well. So I mean, I expect a hard-fought battle. Just really, really good game. This could be game of the year up to this point. I think I could see it going down to the wire. So give me Seahawks in a close game, and hopefully the Lions can squeak out a victory.
Yeah, I'm with you. Seahawks plus 3.5. I think that the Seahawks are just feisty, and they're not going to go down without a fight here.
Yep. All right, college football. We'll run through these real quick. So first bet, it's either the biggest rat line of all time, and I'm just taking the biggest bite of cheese ever, or this is the easiest free money you've ever seen in your life. I'm taking BYU plus 3 for 3 units. Baylor sucks. They're playing Baylor, by the way. Next up, I have Louisville plus 6 going to Notre Dame. I have Texas minus 38.5 versus Mississippi State. And I have Miami minus 19 against Virginia Tech. Cam Ward for Heisman.
And then for college, I've got Alabama at home against Georgia plus 2.5. I've got Illinois plus 17.5 on the road at Penn State. Ole Miss minus 17.5 at home against Kentucky. Texas Tech minus 2.5 on the road at Cincinnati. BYU plus 3.5 on the road against Baylor. Miami minus 18.5 at home against Virginia Tech. And Texas minus 38.5 at home against Mississippi State. Yes, it's a mouthful.
Yep. All right, and that'll do it. So thank y'all for listening. We will have both forums up, so let us know which one you like better, and do not sleep on them Cardinals.
Caw-caw.
That's how we've won all year, team, right? Yes, you held them to 20 points, man. Yes, you gave us a chance at the end. I got 3 words for you. You like that? Yeah!